President Trump travels to West Virginia for a roundtable discussion on tax reform. On Wednesday, the president issued a memorandum authorizing the use of National Guard troops along the southern border. The Trump administration called for the move amid fears of a springtime surge in the smuggling of people and drugs. Also new this morning, Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg says his company is taking steps to limit third-party access to its users' personal data. In a conference call yesterday, Zuckerberg acknowledged up to 87 million Facebook users likely had their personal data accessed by a political consulting firm. Zuckerberg is expected to testify before Congress next week. Closer to home, we're gathering information on a standoff in Busby involving a suspect and law enforcement. We have confirmed the Bighorn County Sheriff's Office, along with several other agencies, are on scene. Busby is located off of Highway 212 between Crow Agency and Lame Deer. The incident reportedly began Wednesday evening just past the Northern Cheyenne Reservation line and continued into this morning. We have not been able to confirm information on the suspect and if anyone has been injured. We'll update you on air and online at ktvq.com as soon as those details are available. From the courthouse, a Billings man accused of fleeing from Missoula police at speeds over 85 miles per hour made his first court appearance. 39-year-old Joseph Wayne Waters is being held on 7 charges stemming from the incident, including several felonies. Those charges include 2 counts of felony criminal endangerment, carrying a concealed firearm, and felony drug possession of methamphetamine, among other misdemeanors. Prosecutors say the incident began Monday evening when a Missoula police officer responded to suspicions of possible drug activity. Police say Waters left the scene, eventually reaching high speeds, running red lights, and driving into oncoming traffic. Prosecutors say the vehicle turned into a grocery store parking lot and a foot chase ensued before Waters was arrested inside the store. Waters also has a warrant out of Yellowstone County for drug charges. Governor Steve Bullock says no deal to the company that operates Montana's only private prison. He says Tennessee-based CoreCivic wanted what amounts to a 15% increase in its daily payments for running the facility. Bullock says his budget and corrections directors flew to Nashville, Tennessee earlier this week to meet with officials from CoreCivic, which owns the 700-bed prison in Shelby. They discussed how Montana might extend the prison contract that expires in 2019 and recoup some state money held by CoreCivic to offset state budget cuts. But the governor says CoreCivic's final offer included increasing its per prisoner per day payment by about $12 a day. However, the deal would have ended a $9 use fee paid by the state, meaning a net increase of about $3 a day or about 4%. Still, Bullock says the higher fee isn't acceptable, especially when it means state human services elsewhere still face cuts.
At best, even if we had reached a deal, 15 million of that would have gone to mitigate some of those cuts. And where it leaves us is that we sure as hell shouldn't be entering into a contract that increases 15% for private prison providers at the same time that we're cutting services all across the state.
Stephen Owen, Communications and Managing Director of CoreCivic, told MTN the new contract would have increased officer wages by 11.5% and expanded sex offender and vocational education programs. Owen also said CoreCivic expressed its continued commitment to work with Montana policymakers to find a path forward. A new pizza ranch planned for the Billings Heights will be the largest of its kind in the nation. Once the restaurant obtains its permit from the city, construction will begin at the Four Seasons lot on Main Street. This new pizza ranch will be 11,000 square feet, which is double the size of the West End location. But manager Jay Terrell tells us the truly exciting feature of its new restaurant is the game center. Pizza Ranch will feature 40 games as well as 5 meeting rooms for private birthday parties, and the grand opening is set for August. Now we go northwest of Glendive, where a wind farm planned for the Lindsay, Montana area has the potential to become the largest taxpayer in Dawson County. The Upper Badlands Wind Development Project will have the capacity to produce more than 1 million megawatt hours of electricity a year, and that's enough to power 140,000 homes. Q2's Jay Cohn spoke with the father-son development team behind the project.
The Upper Badlands Wind Project has been in the planning stage since 2015. But now, with land leasing and environmental studies nearly complete, the project's on the verge of construction.
We start design work probably, I would suspect, mid-October. and then we get into road construction and pad construction in 2019. The turbines will be delivered in 2020 by rail and then trucked to the site.
Electricity from the Upper Badlands project will be transmitted and sold through what's called the Southwest Power Pool, which controls the energy supply to the Midwestern U.S. That's what separates this project from other Montana wind farms.
The Southwest Power Pool, which handles the control area of the inner United States, will purchase the energy and then disperse it to their customers over time. So just the transmission is important. There's a lot of good wind sites in Montana, but unfortunately, there's no transmission to get the stuff out.
The project will feature 89 wind turbine generators capable of producing 320 megawatts of electricity. That's enough to power 140,000 homes. Its commercial operation is envisioned by December of 2020, but it all depends on the going price for electricity. Today, Hussar describes it as a soft electricity market. The going rate is about $14 per megawatt hour. The Upper Badlands project needs $21 per megawatt hour to make a go of it.
It's a little dicey, but nothing ventured, nothing gained sort of thing. And if you can promote the project to the developing partners in such a way that the risk is minimized, it's a good bet that we can get everything done. And we're comfortable and hopeful that the power prices will rebound here in the next 16 to 18 months.
Not surprisingly, landowners in the Lindsay area are watching the project with keen interest. With most of the land leases already signed, now it's just a matter of time and price.
The landowners really do view this as an extra revenue stream. Depending on how many turbines they have on their land, it can be more lucrative or not. Most of the time, when they hear that they just get paid for having the wind blow, they find that attractive. Upper Badlands also promises a new revenue stream for Dawson County. Once construction begins, it'll mean as much as $28 million a year in new property taxes. That's over the first 10 years of the project. That figure jumps to $50 million a year for the next 10 years. In Billings, I'm Jay Cohn reporting for MTN News.
And Jay tells us as for jobs, during peak construction, there will be between 200 to 250 people working on the Upper Badlands project. Once the wind farm is up and operating, it will need 10 to 15 full-time employees. In other news, agriculture is connected to everything we do. And this week, students are here in Billings learning more about the industry. About 2,000 students are attending the 88th annual Montana FFA convention. It's a chance for them to learn skills that will help them with communication, leadership, and serving. The organization is about more than agriculture and will help these students no matter what career path they take.
It is not just about, we like to say, sows, plows, and cows. It's for the future doctors, the future engineers, the future scientists. Anyone that has any dreams or aspirations for the future, FFA will help you get there.
So what I've learned about FFA and about life is that just take every experience you can. Like, just do one thing, and that one thing can lead to another thing and continue to grow your not only who you are, but also the people around you.
I had a real interest in agriculture, and it kind of developed that passion. I remember my freshman year, my teacher telling me, it doesn't matter what you do, just find something to be passionate about, and that's what I was able to connect with.
The state FFA convention runs through Saturday. Some students are even competing in different events, and the winners will move on to compete in the national convention in Indianapolis in the fall. And as some of those young people probably know, being a rancher in Montana is a difficult job between the weather woes and predators. MTN's Kaylee Collins introduces us to one rancher who is using a new tool for protection.
They're all about their sheep and their job, and they love their job.
Among the sheep at Steve Skelton's farm, you'll see several dogs, but they're not there for play.
Their idea is not to kill, maim, or rip up predators. Their idea is to make it harder for a predator to want a meal out of my sheep. The bear's going to just walk on and say, this is too hard of a meal to buy, I'm going to go somewhere else.
Skelton says livestock guardian dogs are their only protection when it comes to living right off the Rocky Mountain front.
We have no alternatives. I can't come out here with a can of bear spray and make grizzly bears go away from my flock.
But the dogs don't mind it. They were bred for this and cold weather.
One thing we had to understand is these dogs, a lot of the pedigrees on them are over 1,000 years old, and it's just what they do. And they come in for their loves, they like it, but normally when you come out to see the sheep, they don't even pay attention to you.
They also have an extra layer of protection.
We have to put spike collars on them so they are protected. If they take a bite from a wolf or a bear, they always go for the neck and it can kill them. This way it's their armor. It's like body armor for them.
While he says they're still learning, they plan to help other ranchers out.
We are going to raise these dogs and try to pass them on to other ranchers and people that need them.
In Bynum, Kaylee Collins, MTN News.
Thank you, Kaylee.